Well, back to school, it's underway, and an important resource. Michigan Minds is at the ready for those young people who are experiencing early psychosis, and the stress of a new school year can exacerbate the emergence and severity of said psychosis. We've got more to share. A great resource of Michigan Minds, Chadwick Sutton. From Network 180, Dr. Eric D. Achtyes from WMU's School of Medicine joining us this morning to share more. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. Chadwick, I'm going to start with you. Michigan Minds, what is that?
Yeah, so Michigan Minds is a resource hub for those young people ages 15 to 35 who are experiencing or may be experiencing psychosis. The goal is to try to get them information, get them connected to coordinated specialty care programs across Michigan. Coordinated specialty care is kind of the gold standard, and we know that it helps in the long run. So the website is there to provide information and get access.
So it is a vital resource, very important information to have at the ready. How does it work? Is it strictly through the website? Is that how Michigan Minds works?
Yeah, so if someone is worried that they might be experiencing psychosis or they see a loved one that might be, they can go to michiganminds.org. There's several ways they can interact with the website, including a tab that says find support. We also have a symptoms checklist. You can email us at hello@michiganminds.org. Any thoughts or concerns, all of that's confidential, so they don't have to worry about where their information is going. And then the last thing is we just really want to make sure that people have access to the information they need.
Doctor, I'm sure the people who are utilizing that resource, the parents especially, are in kind of a moment of crisis. This is a transitionary period, right? Why is this time of year so important to be looking out for these signs?
Well, it's really important because this is the time when students are returning back to school. And as we know, going off to college, for example, can be a stressful experience. Anything that's happening that's new, even if it's a good stress, can sometimes lead to the emergence of some of these symptoms. So this is the time where we want parents to kind of be aware of what's happening with their children as they're heading back to school.
And that's a great way for me to introduce this question. What are those symptoms? If a parent is wondering, what am I dealing with here? What should they be looking for?
Well, it can vary from person to person, but something that we sometimes see is difficulty with classes. So it might be coursework that previously a student has been able to handle, feel overwhelming or too difficult to complete. They may also see changes in their social behaviors. So they may be isolating more, not spending time with friends, maybe being in their room, maybe their hygiene isn't quite what it used to be. And then finally, they may have the emergence of some more severe symptoms like worries that maybe someone's out to get them or poisoning them or that the police are following them, or maybe even hearing people talking about them who really aren't there.
And when someone is diagnosed with this psychosis, how does one achieve that diagnosis? What needs to be present for that to happen?
Well, it's really important. It can be very scary when somebody's experiencing these symptoms, as you might imagine, but it's really important that they go and seek help. So they could start with a primary care physician, they could start with a school counselor, but then really I think the resource that Chadwick mentioned, looking at Michigan Minds, will allow them to connect to an organization that can provide really specialized services for this condition.
And as you mentioned, Chadwick, the information here is private, because I'm sure this is medical information, and this is something that people might want to make sure they've got a grasp on before anyone else gets involved. So the first step really is michiganminds.org.
Right, and early intervention is incredibly important. We know that the first few years after the onset of psychosis symptoms are key to helping them get back to a thriving life where they're able to interact with the community. And so we know that as things progress, it can get more and more difficult. The experiences layer on top of each other. I can say that from my own experiences with psychosis. And so getting connected to early intervention is really important.
Absolutely. You want to get there before it builds and becomes an issue that really could be problematic. If you want to get more information on this, if you know someone, or maybe it's you today that may be in need and looking for some care, you can learn more by checking out michiganminds.org. For back to school, for any transition that you're going through, if these symptoms are in your life, maybe in your own mind, make sure you check out that website today, michiganminds.org. Gentlemen, thank you for the time.
Thank you so much.